What's happening? What's happening? How y'all doing today? Yo, y'all make some noise. Y'all make some noise.
How you doing, man?
This morning, we're doing it early today. We're having a lunch today. Lunch and learn today with my boy Roane in the building. How you feeling?
I'm feeling all right, man. Just getting over the last few days of the sickness, but
Oh, you sick too?
yeah.
Man, hold on, let me adjust this camera. Ooh, there we go. Man, what you sick with, bro? Sick sick beats, sick
You know what it
rhymes,
is.
flows. What
It,
else?
partially, I wish. No, we got caught with COVID a little bit early last week, and so I've been in hibernation for like a week and change.
Oh yeah.
hmm
Man, I'm sorry to hear that, bro. Hopefully you get better, bro.
Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate it. I didn't get hit with too much of the bad stuff, and so it's mostly just been me chilling at the apartment, doing random stuff.
Right, right,
So
right.
it's not been too bad.
Yeah, man, that's good, man. That's good. Okay, man. Thank you, first of all, for even joining the ones and twos, sort of like podcast IG live series. So let's get into it, man. So, Rome, you're an artist. Where are you from exactly, bro?
I've lived in North Texas probably my majority of my entire life. I was born in Irving. I moved to Euless, then I lived in Louisville, Colony, Carrollton, that whole area. And then
Hmm.
I came down to Irving again, and now I live in Fort Worth. And so pretty much just North Texas for the most part, but
Yeah,
not too far away from where I am now.
Funky Town, Panther City. You know what's funny? I've been in Dallas for like what 7 years now. I got family out here, but I don't have any family in Fort Worth. So when I came down to Fort Worth and they call it Funky Town, Panther City, I was like, "What are y'all talking about, Panther City? What
Bro,
what
it
is
had me
Panther
super
City?"
confused because like the first time I heard about the Fort, I was like, "What are y'all talking about?" And then they're like, "Oh yeah." And then I'd always grown up in Dallas, so like DFW is like Dallas and Fort Worth are right next to each other.
Yeah,
They're not.
yeah. That is a straight hour, at least 40, 45 minutes.
Yeah, I was like, "This is not close at all." Somebody lied. I don't know why this is called DFW Airport. These are two separate cities.
Two separate. They know they say everything is bigger in Texas. They just want to take up all the land. Be like, oh, 45 minutes. Oh, that's nothing, son. It's
Yeah,
just
I
down
guess
the
in the
road.
grand scheme of things, like when it's like 9 hours to like El Paso or something like that, I guess it's not that far. But I was like,
Yeah, man. It's like 9 hours to El Paso, about what 5 hours to Lubbock. Yeah, yeah, man. So you're in Fort Worth. You're doing your thing. You are a artist, producer, engineer. Like, what else do you do in music?
um, pretty much everything I can. I like to executive produce a lot of stuff, and so like when I'm tracking people, I like to kind of guide them along with what I think like they're trying to achieve, and kind of toss ideas to them, and kind of help create a sound that they might not necessarily have, and just kind of use some of the experience that I've made creating different genres of music,
Right,
kind
right.
of to lead them in a direction that makes things a little bit more interesting. Like if they come in and record like the same trap song that I've heard like 20 times, I'm like, okay, like, how do we make this a
Yeah.
little bit more interesting?
Especially when you
So
see that they have the ability to do that. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
like,
for
why don't
sure.
you just try something different? Because, man, being an engineer, I when I was in college, I used to be with this group called AW Entertainment,
Mhm.
and they're based out of Irving, Texas. And I would be in the studio with y'all, and I'd be like, man, you engineers have it. Like, it's cool. It's a cool job, but I'm like, y'all get so many of these artists who think they can rap, who think they can sing, and it's like you get so many, but they're paying. It's work. But it's like you hear them in the booth, and it's like you hear it all day, all night, and your job is to make them sound good. How do you feel about that? Like, do you just sometimes feel honest and be like, "Yo, man, you don't got it," or do you?
I'm a full alpha in the booth. I'm not going to lie to you. Like if somebody's trash, I'll be like, look, I think this is trash.
Yeah,
Ultimately, it's your song though. So if you
yeah,
want to do it this way, we can do it this way.
yeah.
But I would recommend we do it another approach,
Right.
or let's try something else today, and you go home and practice.
How they
Because
usually
usually
take that?
when they're bad, it's usually not like just utter trash. Like it's really rare when I'm just like, I feel like if you tried as hard as you could, you'd still be bad. It's a
Yeah,
really rare feeling when I get that type of artist. A lot of the time, it's just not being prepared. Like, yeah, I wrote
yeah.
this on the car over here to this YouTube beat and all this stuff. I'm like, no, take your time, try and flesh out a full track, and then let's try
YouTube
and do it.
beats. Oh man, YouTube beats. Come on, guys. Invest. Get your own beats, bro. There's plenty of
Please.
producers. Invest and try not to. We're tired of Shazamming your track and then another artist shows up on the Shazam. Okay,
Exactly.
invest in some beats, man. But man, that's interesting because it seems like everybody. You mentioned something about, oh, I wrote it on the way here to the studio. I know there's a lot of artists that can do that, but there's artists that just can't. And some artists actually nowadays, they don't even write their own lyrics. They just go in and then I'm just going to smoke one, sip one, and just go ahead, punch me in.
Yeah, there's a couple of exceptions to those rules for sure. Like I know there's this dude I recorded, and I never forgot because this was like an experience that changed me as an engineer. Is he came in and he was like, "I'm just gonna freestyle this whole thing." It was like a 2-minute track, and I was like, "There's no way this is gonna be horrible." And he recorded it and he freestyled the whole thing, and it was dope. And I was like, "Okay, then." And then I was like, "Okay, let's go in and record. Let's do a double on it." He was like, "I don't know what I said though," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And then he did it again, and he made something entirely different, but was also equally dope. And I was like, I don't know what to do with it because you can't punch in like two pieces of different verses. It's going to sound weird. And so I'm like, I just don't know what to do with this thing because I can't punch in your spots because you don't know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But it's kind of, you just got to understand everybody's artistic in different ways and they have different ways of expressing themselves. So if you can get away with freestyling, then do that. But a lot of people, good and well, if you should not be freestyling.
Yeah.
I'm not a dude that should be freestyling, so I don't freestyle. And so I write everything, and I have it memorized before I come in, and I got it practiced and rehearsed to deliver everything down pat. I'm that dude.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Dude, then that's fine. You can freestyle, but a lot of you people out there aren't. And I encourage. There's no shame in writing. There's no shame in being prepared. There's no shame in coming in trying to make a good song. There's no shame in any of that. So just let's all work hard to make my time valuable for you. Because if you come in and we record fast, I can have that song mixed and mastered before you leave.
Yeah. Save time and money. You know what I mean? And this real. Don't be afraid to write your lyrics, man. I mean, you got your phones, just write it down. If you gotta like say it into your phone with the voice to text, just do it, man. Don't feel like it's don't let your ego get to you and feel like you gotta be Kanye West or Lil Flip or the Migos. Because everybody's not gonna be that. You know what I'm saying? Like be yourself and just go in and just give out the best product, bro. It's like I definitely agree with that because the whole punching in thing. I was at a studio in Dallas and it's like these guys are punching in and they're not good at freestyling. It's like y'all should have wrote this because the beat that y'all bought sounds pretty dope. But the way y'all are going on it, it just ruins the whole song, man. So there's something interesting that you posted, I believe like a week or two ago, and it kind of resonated with me because I was like, I didn't know this about you. So before you were in the studio, you were in the office. You used to be a corporate worker, like doing it really well, and you decided to change up and take it full time to music. Like, what made you want to do that?
It's a really, really long story, but I'll try and shorten it up as much as I can. So, long story short, last October, I believe, last September, somewhere around there is when I met Trend. I was working as a store manager for a grocery store, actually. And making 6 figures a year was a great lifestyle. Everything's good. I have a house in Irving that's fully paid off, no mortgage, no nothing. It's
nice,
incredible. I was married at the time, and I have a son. He's 3. He's 4 at the end of the week. And so, in a span of about a month and a half, just after meeting Trend and everything, stuff started escalating with like music. And there's a point with music where you decide, it's like, I see the path to what I want to do. Do I have the time to allocate to this? And that was also a time where I was like going through a rough spot in my marriage. And so I started talking with my wife at the time, and we were like, you know what? I don't think that I'm able to be in a relationship right now, given everything that we're doing, but obviously I still have obligations. And we tried to make it work a little bit, and we just got to a point where we were like, at the end of the day, if you're not doing what you're happy doing, then what's the point of like living at any point? And so
facts.
Kind of made the decision to separate off of that, and so we're not together anymore. And then off of that, I was like, well, I'm still working 80, 90 hours a week, pulling this grocery store job, doing this. Why am I trying to push everything? I don't have time to do anything. So I was like, I have savings. You know what? I have a team down with Trend. Why not just go for it? And so in January, I actually quit my job and moved down to Fort Worth to try
this year
and down and make everything work for myself.
Wow.
It's been progressing very well. Like you have a lot of time to make stuff happen when you're not bound by like corporate hours or another job and whatnot. You have a lot of time to push stuff. And so
Yeah.
the money management's probably 100% the most difficult part of everything, because income in music is not great when you're starting up.
Yeah.
But connections, more connections, marketing, promotion, just everything's really taken off. Music wise, I've gotten infinitely better because I can allocate a lot more time to it. And so it's just been a really great experience for it. But that's kind of how it all went to happen. I just got to a point where I was like, if not now, then when?
Yeah.
So when you get to that point, you're just like,
I like how you said that, man. If not now, then when? You'll keep saying that in your head over and over and over. Next thing you know, you're 60 and you can't rap. And it's like you should have did it right when it came to your mind. Like, and I think you did good, because what I really hate is that there's so many people that, you have obligations like the family and the house and all that stuff, but it's like anything's possible. I think if you really want to do it, you'll take the time and plan and make it happen. It's not going to just boom, like you're going to be a superstar overnight, but you can at least start and have a plan set into place. And see, you've proven to do that. And you're doing really well in your studio, man. It's awesome. You got your setup, you're doing shows. So it's like a lot of people should take that advice from you. Just if it doesn't matter what you're going through, it's going to be harder for you than others. That's just how it's going to be, but it's always possible. You know what I mean? So one life to live, try it. Like people come to me, they're like, I mean, I thought about DJing. I was like, why don't you just hop on? Like, go to YouTube, get some lessons, a controller. Matter of fact, you don't even need a controller. You can just play off your laptop. I mean, $100 control. You can play off an app, plug it into a speaker. Just do it. Just try it. You never know. You could be the next Skrillex, the next DMX. You never know.
exactly.
But just if you like it, just do it. You know,
you gotta get out your own way. You gotta be. The fear of failure allows so many people just to not attempt anything. And it's like you start attempting everything, you're like, this actually isn't as hard as I thought it was.
And it's a lot of fun too.
Do it.
Man, you mentioned the record label you're with. Okay, I don't know too many artists in the area that are signed to like a legitimate record label. So what's it like being signed to a record label, and what made you want to sign with this label that you're with?
So the beauty of Trend, label's called Trend Media. They're down in Fort Worth. It's actually the label, the studio I work out of in SG Studios in White Settlement. I like them a lot because you get the perks of the label without the rigidness of a label. My biggest issues with being with labels is lack of creative control, which is, I think, every artist is concerned with them. The thing about Trend is they're like, it's hard to explain because they're still like up and coming. They haven't been around for too long. The beautiful thing about them though is that I have not been forced one time to make a particular record. Like I've always been able to make whatever I want, whenever I want. Majority of the songs I have made are just sitting on my hard drive simply because I've turned into a perfectionist over the pursuit of everything, and I cannot for the life of me release music because I'm just trash that way. And that's something I've accepted over the past few months.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
Take my own advice and just start releasing music and not focusing on it trying to be perfect. But they're really great. My manager Mitch is an incredible videographer, great visual content creator. And
Visions by Mitch, right?
Yeah.
Shout out Visions by Mitch.
My eyes for visuals are utter trash. And so he helps me a lot find stuff that I wouldn't necessarily think is good because I just don't see great artistic stuff, or like have an eye for things and stuff I think is bad. He's like, no, we're not doing this. And like he takes me around the travels. Like I actually met you down on a trip in April when we went down to Houston. And he told me that it was like 10 a.m. on 420. He was like, hey, yeah, we're going down to Houston. I was like, when? He's like, in about 6 hours.
Oh, with the High Roller show.
Yeah, the High Roller show, yeah.
Yeah.
See High Rollers and Lou Charles.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. I was like, we're going to Houston in 6 hours. So I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, it'd be like that.
It's really dope. And like, they take on everything, and they're so malleable with how they approach everything. Like they just build everything in the air and figure out the way to build it while they're in the air.
Yeah.
So I think that's basically the thing I really like most about them is just the fact that you can do whatever you want with them, and you still get like the perks of having a label, which is the custom publishing and distribution, the connections to everything, the press, the HR, all that stuff. You get the full structure and the full team of a label, and you can actually still like fully control yourself as an artist, which I really love.
Man, that's really cool, man. Yeah, we met in hold on one second. I'm actually kind of sick myself with the strep, so I'm muting it while I cough. But yeah, the Houston show was definitely experience because I was in Houston doing like a lot of different things, and the High Roller show is just one of many things I was down there for. So yeah, it was good meeting you there, man. So you the spontaneous traveling, the spontaneous events, man, that's just what it's all about because you never know what's going to happen, especially with an upcoming label that you're with. I'm pretty sure they're just taking on they're taking a lot of risk right now, and that's really good. And the fact that they're based out of Fort Worth, again, I don't know too many legitimate, and I say that word, I'm trying to be nitty gritty here, legitimate labels, because there's a lot of people that have labels that are not paying taxes, that are not, do not have whatever, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to have a studio to have a label, but the label is a placeholder for your business. Like if you're not generating income, I can't really say if it's legit or not, you know what I mean? And you're with a legit label. So it's like, that's extremely good. You know what I mean? I wish more artists would get that experience. So signing to a label, do you think it's necessary for artists to sign to a label? Like I want them to get that experience, you know, especially like rappers and singers, but do you think an artist needs to sign to a label to just, you know, make things happen?
I don't think so. I think we need to discuss there's a difference between signing to a label and signing to a major. I think signing to a major is 100% not essential because by the time a major actually comes and approaches you, you're already popping. And they're really just trying to take advantage of you and your fan base that you already have established. And so a major I don't think is essential. I don't think you need a label either, but being with a label makes things infinitely easier because it puts a team in place. And it allows you to have 5 people dedicated to something that you would just be doing yourself. So like I have a tracking engineer through Trend. I have a visual content creator through Trend. We have producers through Trend. We have people that will go out and network for you on your behalf through Trend. And so like that's all stuff that I don't have to do, and I can just spend all my time making music.
Yeah.
To go out and meet somebody, it's good. And they can sift through all the people I don't need to meet. So I don't ever end up meeting people that are trash.
Oh,
like all the people that complain about, hey, these people are bad people.
You have to worry about none of that.
Yeah, so everybody I've met has always been a gem because they just don't introduce me to any of the bad people. And so it's not essential, but it increases your rate of growth, which is really what I'm looking for. Is like a big fast track and kind of, I'm always looking to how do I skip steps? How do I skip steps? Yeah. There's certain things you can't skip, but there's a lot of things you can bypass if you're just creative enough to approach it in a unique way. Because
having
like,
a team,
the music industry is so antiquated right now, and people are struggling to kind of catch up in like the TikTok, the Reels, and all that stuff. Like they just don't know how to deal with it because they're still like in the old days of, hey, your masters are everything. You know, how many albums are you going to sell? What are you going to do with all this stuff? You know, and you can really like find a creative niche off of how creative your approach is with everything. And so that's kind of how I want to approach everything. And so if you want to skip steps, I definitely think you need a team of some sort. But you can do everything by yourself. You're just going to end up like Russ, you know, 10 years trying to make something happen. But I think you can definitely do it by yourself if you want.
A team is very important. And I like that you brought that up because DJ Sneak said the same thing. Shouts to DJ Sneak. She has a team called Baddies on Board, and it's a female DJ collective, and they're a team. And like you said, having a team makes everything so much more easier because it's like a team of DJs, and it's 4 of them. And every show they do, they pack it out. But it looks like they're having so much fun, and the stress is so minimal. So with the label, it's like you have your team together. You're not doing your flyers. You're not doing you're just focusing on what you have to do, and you're focusing on your press and doing your rapping and your singing, and you're going to get good at that. And I think that, you know, that is a good benefit of having a label. You know, you can just focus on perfecting your craft. I don't have to worry about doing the flyers or just focus on rapping and be good at that. Your other teammate, he's going to do that. He's going to do that. So, man, I wish more artists would be more open to working with a team. I feel that folks are just scared to trust others. You know what I mean? When it comes to the teamwork, especially at a young age, we're constantly being bombarded by Gary V videos. These inspirational speakers. You could do it all by yourself. I
Yeah.
mean, people take it so literal. It's like that's not what they mean. They mean just find the right people to get with. They're not saying go out and just do everything by yourself. Oh, here's another thing. I made it on my own. I'm a self-made. I made it all. No, you didn't, bro.
No.
Nobody is successful on their own.
No.
Somebody helped you get there. If it wasn't directly, it was definitely indirectly. The customers,
100%.
the consumers. So it's like, man, team building is so important. And last thing I want to say is like when it comes to rap, I feel like the groups, teamwork, Bone Thugs and Harmony, 3 6 Mafia, Migos, I feel like they stand out the most, and I love seeing that. But it seems like nowadays everybody's just quick to break off, quick to just do their own thing from start to finish. And it's like, come on, man, like nobody's gonna be a perfectionist. Nobody knows it all. You have to be open to have a team, man. And look, you're a prime example. You got a good team, and you guys are killing it right now in Fort Worth in White Settlement. So it's like, bro, if y'all watching this podcast, y'all need to pay attention, man. My man is taking a risk. He's got a team, and he's doing his thing. There's nothing wrong with letting, I'm gonna be honest, man. My artists, let the ego off. You don't know everything. Be open to take criticism, and then you will see some progression. You'll see a step forward. You know what I'm saying, or step up. So speaking of a step up, hip hop is always changing, always moving forward. Kanye just dropped Donda. It's like nothing I've ever heard. Then there's just new stuff coming left and right, left and right. How do you think the culture is shifting so far as hip hop? Like where we are today, what is it going to be like in the next like 10 years now?
So I think what I've always learned with Kanye albums, and I didn't really get this until Life of Pablo, is you don't really understand the depths of the impact of a Kanye album until 5 years after it's dropped. Because that's when you start hearing all the production influence that it always has in there. I was like, because I heard Life of Pablo and I was like, this is trash. Like I was like, the first time I heard it, I was like, I don't understand this. Father Stretch My Hands Part 2, I still don't understand to this day. But then I listen to the stuff now and I'm like, I get it. I get it now. And so that's how I kind of approach this stuff. And so I was waiting for the Kanye drop to kind of hear what everything is going with. And when I'm listening with everything, I think hip hop, the tricky thing is the real lyricism is dying out. Because I just don't think, I'm not sure if it's a lack of skill out there or if it's a lack of desire or if people just feel like everything's been talked about. But it's a lot more sonic based. Like you're seeing a lot more like punk influence into it, a lot more like hyper pop stuff being thrown into it, like as far as the creative stuff. It's just,
it's more like they're going for the catchy stuff now.
Yeah.
Like some couple words they could say at you to make you shake your ass or make you be like, oh, that was funny, or oh, that just like words just get you. Yeah, nothing that really sinks in though.
Content behind it that I'm like, there's no super heavy like complex stuff that I'm getting out of it. And so I don't know if like, I think the hip hop culture might be dying as a whole, but I think like the hip hop influence I think is reigning supreme in other genres. And so I think that's where, because I think all the other genres are taking hip hop influence, but I think like the core hip hop culture itself, like what it was built upon, I think that's slowly dying, but I think the influence is spreading into other genres.
Yeah, it definitely is dying off, and you said the influence on other things like Afro beats, Latin music. They're all rapping, and rapping is a form of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? That's bled over. Old Town Road. Come on, now, who thought of something like that? So people rapping like that.
X, I will say, get beyond whatever anybody's opinions is of him.
Oh, here we go.
Listen to his music.
Yeah.
Nobody is doing what he's doing right now. Nobody.
Shots Lil Nas X.
Like I was listening. I was like, I don't know if you're a genius. I don't know if you're like the second coming of Kanye or whatnot. But like his stuff is like legit revolutionary.
Yeah, it's just like every song that he's put out has been monumental. I mean, Old Town Road, Panini, Rodeo, the Montero. Even though if I didn't see the video and I just heard the audio, I'd be like, this song is fucking jamming.
Yeah.
Like it's just dope. And when I think of Lil Nas X, you know what? I think of him. You said Kanye West. Yeah, I could see some of that, but something about him just screams Black Eyed Peas. I don't know what it is. The
I
costume,
can see it, I think.
he's like all of them into one person.
Yeah.
And it's just like he's so pop, but he's everything he makes you want to move and boom, boom, boom. Like it I just feel that from him. It just resonates so heavy from him. And I'm just like, this is crazy. I think he's like 20 years old or something like that. I was like, man, that's ridiculous. So yeah, the culture. We mentioned the Kanye West album, how that's just so different than what we hear nowadays. But Kanye West has always praised that creative artist. Like, okay, when he comes out with something, we expect it to be completely just left, right? But my thing is like, I know so many Kanye West fans, and I know even in the industry, there's probably other artists who are fans of him. But why aren't we hearing more different stuff? Like it seems like no, just to any other artist out there, but I'm hearing too much Meg, too much Moneybagg Yo, too much the Baby, and you're driving down the highway and you hear cars bumping rap, and it's like that trap hi-hat sound. You already know what they're listening to. It's like,
Yep.
where is it gonna be where Kanye's not left alone, Lil Nas is not left alone? More artists are gonna take that risk and be like, let me try something different.
So I think here's my theory on this. I'm not confirmed with this, but here's my conspiracy theory on this situation.
Okay.
So there's a dude on a TikTok I saw. His name's Swaco. He does punk music and whatnot, and he's signed to a label. And he had a song that's like a big smash right now. I don't even remember what it's called, honestly, because I just associated with the story more than the actual thing. But his label didn't want to release the song because they didn't think it was going to be a hit. But what he turned up doing is he got his TikTok followers to start promoting it, starting duetting like snippets of it until the label finally broke down and released it. What my theory is that the people at the top of the labels are too stuck in their ways right now, that they're scared to make mistakes because there's so much money built into all these artists. They're scared to actually try something unique that's going to be like, oh man, maybe this will work, maybe it won't work. They're scared to take that chance on it. And so they're just going with the tried and true method and say, hey, we're going to keep this money flowing, keep more money flowing, boom, boom, boom. And I think that's the biggest reason, and especially like radio, like the radio places are only going to play the stuff that they have like the connections with the labels too. Like they're going to dictate what is played on the radio off of that.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to hear a unique creative artist stuff be played on the radio because that's not how that works. Like the radio is playing the stuff that the labels have the connections with. And so when you go to like TikTok and you find all these unique songs that are like designed for TikTok videos, like dudes rapping about like toast, and they have like
sandwiches.
Yeah. They have things like just random obscure things designed for like specific TikTok videos. Labels don't know what to do with that because it's like it seems like a meme, but then this stuff starts shooting up on Spotify and they're just confused with it. And so I think that's really the biggest thing, is that majors just haven't adjusted to the age of TikTok, and that literally any song at any time could pop off, and they're just overthinking it. And that's my theory on it, at least, that they're just too scared to kind of pull the trigger on making something unique because they think it's going to be too memey.
Yeah, I definitely agree, man. And hopefully they can hire some more of these. If you labels are watching, hire some of these younger interns. Listen to these young folks. They are more on their phones than y'all are, and they are more in tune with the culture. So hopefully they hire more folks so they can get a better insight on what really is going on in the culture. So you've been rapping for how long?
Probably about 5 years now.
Okay, sounds longer than that, man. You got a good wordplay on it. Like lyricism is on point. So during your 5 years, what has been like the best night, the best show, the best moment that you've ever had so far?
Best moment, I'd probably have to say it's definitely the first show. Like the high from the first show. My first show, I opened up for Dizzy Wright at a Haltom Theater down in Fort Worth.
Oh snap! That was your first show? Wow, how was that?
Off the label, man. You skip steps.
See what I'm saying? Look.
Skip steps.
Get to the bag, y'all. Man, that's a really good look for a first show on your resume. That's what's up.
Yeah, so
I heard about that gig, man. I heard it was like a really, really good show, man. And I'm sorry I missed it, man. As a DJ, bro, it's hard to see my other friends perform because we're always DJing like 4 nights a week. And it's like, damn, I got to take off. It sucks. But so Now you gotta tell me about what's the worst moment. Because I mean, I know there's ups and downs, but what's like a moment you've had during your 5 years where you just felt like this is just like the worst show, something that maybe almost made you want to quit, and how'd you overcome that?
What is it? I think this is actually gonna be a roundabout way, but so in January we shot a music video called Wilderness that I have. It's actually the only music video I've ever made in my life. But we
Okay.
flew down a rapper named Samad Savage from New Jersey, and my friend Hyde from Nebraska, and we flew him down. And so
Mm-hmm.
this wasn't a show per se, but it's definitely like my lowest moment as an artist. And
Mm-hmm.
so this dude, Samad Savage in New Jersey, I would encourage anybody to look him up. This dude is like one of the dopest artists you'll ever hear in your entire life. Like he's just sensational, rapping, execution, singing, just
Mm-hmm.
artistic creativity, he's bananas, absolutely bananas. And
Mm-hmm.
so he was down here for I think like 4 days,
Mm-hmm.
might have been three or 4 days, and we were listening to like his whole discography, like his whole feature things, like the whole time,
Mm-hmm.
and I just kept getting just depressed listening to his stuff because I was like, you do exactly what I want to do, just 20 times better than me.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to get to a point after he left. It was probably about 2-3 weeks after he left before I finally got to a point where I was like, you can't be him. No matter how hard you try, you can't be him because he is
Yeah.
him. You have to find out who you are as an individual.
Yeah.
And I think it was at that point where I was just like, okay, let me find out who Roane is as an artist instead of
Yeah.
chase after, Samad and what he's doing. Cause I thought that was exactly what I wanted. He executed it perfectly. And I knew like, I just couldn't touch him. Like he's a dude who doesn't write. Like he just doesn't, like he raps double time stuff just off the dome.
Mm-hmm.
Like just raps, just raps, just raps. Like he keeps everything, like he does the Jay-Z thing. It's like, okay, just play it and just repeat it back to me what I said, and boom, just records like that. Just time line after line after line after line does that. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I just can't do that.
Yeah.
And so the hardest moment and definitely the worst moment I've had is just reaching that realization that you can't do what somebody else is doing.
Facts.
And I think the beauty of that is it leads to the follow-up question, which is, okay, so who am I?
Who
And
are
I think
you?
once you find out who you are, you realize, okay, nobody else can do what I'm doing. And then that's
Man,
where confidence comes in, and now you're ready to roll.
facts. Yeah.
But you
More
kind of got
artists
to
need to
hit that.
understand that.
You got to hit that bottom first, and the bottom's
Yeah.
rough because I was just like, man, why am I doing this? So like, if I'm not going to be this good, like, what's the point? And it's like, it's not about being like, it's not a scale of like 1 to 10. Like, someone might be working 1 to 10, you might be working A to Z. Like, it's different variables or different grading scales that you have over there. Like you can't judge everybody off the same scale because you're creative in different ways.
Yeah. We all have to realize that, man. It's like we're all unique. You're not ever gonna be nobody else. So just do the best that you can, you know what I'm saying? And man, that's really good, man. I wish more artists also could take that bit of advice and stop chasing to be everybody else because you're always going to be disappointed. In the end, you're
100%.
always going to be disappointed. So we're gonna wrap it up here in a minute, man. So doing your thing, studio shows. Hopefully, you get better very soon, man. I'm sorry that you came down with, you know what, we're not gonna say on the podcast, but what when you get better and everything is back on the road, what do you have coming up, man? Like, you got any shows, any events coming up for the month?
Um, Shows, I don't have anything right now. My number
Mm-hmm.
one priority is fixing my Spotify. My jump share has about 40 completed songs on it right now that I
Mm-hmm.
just have not released because they're like a tweak or two away from being perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And so my goal is to give myself 3 weeks when I get better. And after those 3 weeks, not touch them again and just start releasing music.
Okay.
I need to do that now. That is definitely my biggest priority. And so
Right.
I've got I have an EP I have that's called the 5 for 5. We're gonna release one song every week for 5 weeks and have a little fun little thing after that. So
Love
I'll
it.
have that coming out. I have a song with the girl named Clancy in LA. We're gonna go over there sometime, I think October, November, something like that. Shoot a music video with her and the producer named Maddie Beats. He lives over there.
Okay.
We'll shoot a music video for that, and get those rolling, get that song released. But it's just releasing music as much as possible from now until the end of the year is definitely the goal. And then if we pick up a show or two from then we'll probably figure out. But that's definitely the primary goal right now is just release music, release music, release music. That way I can
Right.
start sending people to my jump share. And because I hate that whole well, what do you sound like? Can I hear your music? And it's like, yeah, this is it. But bro, if you just heard what I had sitting in the vault, like I hate doing that.
Yeah,
It's like, here, listen to this, but don't worry, man. If you just heard the stuff I had come out, like I just hate that so much.
Just giving your best from the jump.
Yeah, exactly that. So I'm just trying to put that stuff out as much as possible.
That's good. Real quick, does anybody have any questions? If you have any questions, we've got the chat open for a couple minutes, man. Just go ahead and drop some questions if you have any for Roane in the motherfucking building. You already know. All right, I think I got a question on that. So what's your favorite venue that you performed at? Would it be the Dizzy Wright one?
It's going to hold a special place in my heart. I think the best venue I performed, I really, really love Tulips.
I've never been. I got to check it out.
I played it. I opened up for Louapalooza.
Okay.
And he did that. And
yeah, I remember that, man.
That was really fun.
I was DJing that night too, man. I heard about that. I saw the photos, the little video reel of it. I was like, man, that looks epic.
It was so incredible, man. Tulips is a great venue, and then they also care about their artists too in a way that like a lot of other venues don't. And so like, they talk to you and about like the obvious like ticket prices and splits and things like that, and really work with you to kind of like make it a really dope promotion.
Yeah. So,
shout out Tulips. Definitely loved them as a venue. I haven't played too many shows though. I think I've only done 3 or 4 shows.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
All right, we got a question from, let's see, Squad New. What is your number one? Is that him?
Squad Know You.
That's him.
Because you ain't in it. It's like Squad.
What's your number one artist? Can't say Kanye.
Ooh. That's literally my number one artist. But if we're going away from Kanye, I'll go NF. I'll go NF. I probably listen to NF more than any other artist.
I gotta write that down. I don't know who NF is. What is that?
Dope.
It's just NF.
NF, yeah, 2 letters. He's really lyrical. His production's really big, orchestral, cinematic stuff, and I just I live for that stuff.
Yeah, real musicianship. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna check out NF. Like, what's a song by him I should listen to if I've never heard this guy?
His whole Perceptions album's incredible. Honestly, just listen to the intro. The intro
is
called Intro. It'll blow your mind. Like it's absolutely incredible.
Okay.
Absolutely incredible.
Okay, I'm gonna check that out, man. NF the intro. All right. Cool, man. Cool. Well, look, Roane, thank you again for coming by.
My pleasure, man. Appreciate you for having me, DJ Kane.
Yeah, to the 1's and 2's, man. Keep up the good work, bro. And by the way, I should have mentioned it earlier, but I got this guy on my album, bro. And the track is finished. I know I've been delaying it for like almost a month now, but I am going to drop it today. I'm going to a venue, and I'm going to play it on some speakers there to get the club experience. And then I'm going to determine if I need to edit more, and then I'm going to drop it like tonight. So it's coming out and I'll send you the track. I'll email it to you.
For sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, appreciate it, man. We're going to save this video on Instagram Live. Make sure y'all share the video. Follow my boy Roane. Share his music. He got a lot of cool stuff coming out, man. This cat right here is blazing. Roane, thank you for coming out, bro.
Thank you, man. Always a pleasure, man. Always love.
Yes, sir. Bye.